This is an extract of the full webinar that's available above. Definitely check it out if you'd like to learn more. So this part of the video is an entire Ecwid e-commerce setup so that you can have an online store where you can send a link to your customers today and get started selling online. If you follow this tutorial, you'll have an online store with a link that you can share with your customers. You'll be able to receive payments and ship your products. So the first thing we're going to do is head over to ecwid.com. You can access it directly from the link in the description. Keep in mind that if you go through that link and you decide to get a paid plan with Ecwid, I'll make a commission on that sale. Excellent. Let's click on Get Started for free. So all you have to do is enter your name and your email. Make sure to choose a complex password and then click on Set Up Your Store. Now Ecwid's going to ask you a couple questions, and this is going to help tailor your experience in your Ecwid e-commerce backend. Of course, you don't have to answer these questions if you don't want to, but if you do choose the correct industries, you'll have different information that'll appear in your backend. So the backend is where the store manager can edit their online store. All right, now we're in our Ecwid seller control panel. So this is the backend. This is where you can manage your online store. If ever you want to go manage your online store, just head over to ecwid.com and then log in. So here we have a to-do list on the side. I'm just going to close this because I'm going to provide you all the information you need in this video, but if you want to reactivate it, I'll show you where you can reactivate that in the future. Before we dive in, I just want to scroll down to the bottom of the page and show you something really interesting. If your native language is different from the language of your backend right now, you can change it. There's actually over 20 languages that are available here that you can translate your seller control panel in. So for example, if your control panel is in English right now and you'd rather it be in French, you can just scroll down to the bottom and choose your preferred language. Before we go any further, I'd also like to show you where you can access customer support. So at the top right of your screen, just click on Get Help. And then since you have a free plan at the moment, you can access email support, but if you upgrade later on, you can have access to chat or phone support. I'll talk a little bit more about paid plans at the end of this video. So the very first thing that I do whenever I set up an Ecwid store is I head over to Settings. Let's click on Settings and General. This is where you can enter the information about your store, so your store profile. It's really important to enter this information because it'll help Ecwid calculate shipping rates later on, for example, and lots of other things. So definitely put in your company name and email, your store name, your company address, all the information that you can here. If you have social profiles, definitely add them. And if you want to edit your online store without it being visible, you can click Close Storefront for maintenance and your store will not be available to your customers, but you'll be able to see it. And you know that wizard that we saw at the beginning? If you click on Reopen Wizard, you'll have that to-do list that'll reappear. We're going to head back over to our settings and we're going to go to Regional Settings. Now, as you saw at the beginning of the video, we indicated that we were selling in Canadian dollars, and this is where that information was entered. There's so many things here that you can edit if you want to be able to change the way the numbers are shown, or have a conversion rate, or change the different weights and sizes from kilograms to pounds, for example. You can do all of that here. Now, there's one thing I want to point out for the Canadians and the Australians and anyone who's using dollars in their country, but not US dollars. As you can see here, we have currency symbol. There's a C and a dollar sign. Here we can see the C and we can take it off if we want. I'm going to show you what it looks like in the storefront. Anytime you want to access your store, just click on View and then you'll see your store name. I put store name just as a generic name, but if we click on it, you'll see your storefront. So this is your website. I don't want to give us any spoiler alerts yet, but we're going to be tailoring that to match your brand in a couple minutes. So don't worry about the demo products and what it looks like. We're going to be updating that to match your branding in a couple minutes. As you can see here, we have that C in front of our products, and some people don't want to show that. So what you can do is just click here, hide the C, and then hit save. Everything is done in real time. So all you have to do is go back up to your URL, refresh your page, and you'll see that everything in your storefront has been updated automatically. And there you have it. We just took off the C on our storefront. So that C was representing Canadian dollars just to differentiate with US dollars. Awesome. Let's head over to cart and checkout. I'm really a nerd for this section. I absolutely love all of the features that are available in here. It's just people don't take the time to look at what's available here, although they can have an extremely important impact on your bottom line. There's a lot of features here that can help you increase your sales and improve customer experience. I talk about this entire page in detail in my Ecwid e-commerce power course. I highly recommend you go check it out. The goal of that course is to help you create an online store much better, much faster, and much cheaper than if you had to work with third parties like web agencies, developers, or freelancers. If you actually want to take the time to look at these features, I highly recommend it. Some of them are paid features because we just have a free plan for now, but it's really worth checking it out. Same thing for tracking and analytics. I actually have a full in-depth tutorial in the course about this entire page too, and all of the incredible features that you can unlock using this page. Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, where do I create my products? Let's head over to Catalog and click on Products. As you can see here, the page is already populated with a bunch of product examples. This is just to show you what it looks like when you have a store that has some products in it. If you want to delete them, just click on All, and then Bulk Update, and then click on Delete Selected. I'm just going to keep them there because I'd like to have some products to demonstrate in my online store for this demo. So before we dive into products, you might have a couple categories that you'd like to set up. Just click on Catalog and Categories, and here you can set up your categories. Click on Add Root Category, and since we have clothing, we can add a women's and a men's category. Now I'm just going to give you an example here. If I try to add a subcategory or another root category, I won't be able to, because since we have the free plan, we're only allowed 2 categories for now. Of course, if you upgrade to any of the Ecwid plans, you'll have unlimited categories, and you can just drag and drop them to have subcategories. All right, let's go create our first product. Click on Products and then Add New Product. So it's super straightforward. First thing we're going to do is add a picture. Just click on Upload Image and select the image that you'd like to upload. Then enter your product title, an SKU if you'd like. An SKU is just a number that you use to track your products in your inventory. Enter the weight. Click on Require Shipping if this product does require shipping. It is very important to enter this information because if you use automatic shipping calculations, they will rely on this information to calculate shipping costs. I'll show you that in much more detail later on in this video. If you want to see what this looks like, just click on Preview Product. That's looking good. Okay, we didn't enter the price, so we're just going to enter a price. These are the most basic things that you can do with the free plan. Of course, there's tons of advanced features with the paid plan. You can add product availability, you can control stock, you can add a label to your product. So it's a little piece of information at the top that says on sale, for example. You could add product subtitles if you'd like. There's tons more features available that you can unlock in a paid plan. We'll talk about that more at the end of this video. But just for basic, let's get started selling online, here's what you can do. You could add product attributes if you would like. So a little bit more information. For example, if you're selling clothing, you could have material as an attribute, you could have the brand as an attribute, and you just enter that information every time within the attribute section. Super easy. It saves a lot of time from typing in the information every time. You can also add product options. Product options are actually very powerful within Ecwid e-commerce. You could add radio buttons, a drop-down list. You can make them paid. You can use these options to offer customizations and so much more. You can also set up product-specific tax information right here. You can unlock more SEO features in Ecwid paid plans, and the related products tab is all about the cross sales. If you'd like to learn more about cross sales, definitely check out the link above. Awesome, we created your first product in your online store. So all you have to do is repeat the process for all your other products if you'd like to upload them. If you're already using another e-commerce solution and you'd like to bulk upload your products, you can do that using the bulk upload product feature. All right, let's finish setting up your online store with taxes, shipping, and payment methods so you can finally use it and start getting paid from your customers. Let's head over to Settings and Taxes. As you can see here, there's an option to set up automatic tax calculation. I honestly think it's worth getting a paid plan with Ecwid just for that feature. What happens is when someone goes and places an order in your online store, the automatic tax calculator will know what taxes to charge them. This is really good for US-based businesses because there's so many different tax rules throughout the US. Same thing with Canada. I think this is super useful in my own online store. Instead of myself having to update and calculate taxes, the automatic tax calculator does it for me. But if you don't want to get a paid plan and you want to set it up manually, you can do that right here manually. I actually demonstrate how to use the manual tax setup feature in my Ecwid e-commerce power course. You can check it out there. Another very important thing to set up in your online store are your legal pages. It's pretty much mandatory no matter what, but it's especially important if you have traffic from the European Union, since you will probably have to comply with the GDPR. Of course, I'm not a lawyer and this is not legal advice, but it's extremely important to make sure that you have legal information in your online store. May that pertain to terms and conditions, privacy policy, shipping and payment information, your return policy, and having a complete About Us. If you'd like to learn more about the GDPR features that are available in Ecwid, I have a full tutorial video on that in my Ecwid e-commerce power course. Now there are some automatic messages that are sent out thanks to Ecwid e-commerce, and you can check those out under the Mail tab. There's the order confirmation, order status, order shipped. So whenever you mark things in your online store as being shipped or having changed statuses, there's an automatic email that will be sent to your customer. You can activate or deactivate these here, and you can also edit them. Now let's have a look at the invoice tab. If you click on preview invoice, you'll see an example of what your invoices will look like for your customers. You can upload your logo if you'd like. You can add your tax identification information. You can also customize your invoice. And one thing that's super important to me is to always attach invoices to order confirmation emails. So if you'd like your customers to receive their invoices automatically, definitely enable this feature. This is a great way to avoid customer support requests from people who are asking to receive their invoices in the future. We're going to start talking about store design very shortly, but I just want to show you the label editor really quickly since it's under these settings. This feature allows you to customize the buttons in your online store. So for example, if a button in your online store says add to cart and you'd like to change that to add to bag, you can easily do that with this feature. All right, let's make sure that you can get paid. Let's head over to payment. This is where you can set up your payment options. So by default, we have pay by cash, but I'm going to remove it. Let's imagine that we are 100% online. Ecwid is actually integrated with over 50 payment gateways. It's incredible. Here we have Stripe, we have Square, we have PayPal, and they're probably the most common ones that are used. If you don't see what you need, just scroll down to the bottom of the page and check out Choose Payment Method. Here you'll see a whole list of payment methods. It's so long. It's really awesome that Ecwid offers all of these payment integrations. And it's really cool. If you don't see what you need here, you can always reach out to Ecwid and ask them for custom development, and they can give you a quote to let you know if they can integrate with the payment provider that you would like. All right, I'm going to show you how to activate PayPal. It's very quick and easy. Just click on Enable PayPal, and then click on Actions to be able to change the email if you have to. You can also enter information for your customers if you'd like. So appearance options, you could say PayPal or something else if you'd like, and you can add payment instructions. Those will appear at checkout when your customer is placing their order. Now for me personally, I like to have at least 2 payment options in my online store. I'm currently using PayPal and Stripe. Usually I have people who come to my online store that don't want to use PayPal and they'd rather use Stripe, and vice versa. If I had a brick and mortar store, I'd probably have a cash option, but I wouldn't put too many options and I wouldn't put too little. I like 2 because it's easy. All right, let's make sure that you can ship your products. So we're going to talk about product shipping. Under configuration, click on shipping and pickup. So you have 2 main options in Ecwid e-commerce. You can offer a shipping and delivery option or a self-pickup option. If you have a restaurant, for example, you might offer both, a pickup option and a local delivery option. If you have just an online store, you might just want to ship products directly to your customers. Either way, you can set up multiple shipping options for your clients. In this demonstration, I'm just going to talk about shipping. So let's head over to add a shipping method. As you can see here, I indicated that I'm located in Canada, so Ecwid e-commerce automatically chose Canada Post, but I could change that if I would like. Click on View All Carriers, and then you can choose a different carrier if you need one. You also have the option to do local delivery here, or to choose a different carrier. I'm going to click on Canada Post because most people like to use the automatic shipping calculator. So when I click on Canada Post, we have the automatic shipping calculator, we have free shipping that we can choose, we also have conditional and free shipping, a flat rate, or a custom rate that you can set up in a table. There's so much flexibility with regards to shipping in Ecwid. I absolutely love it. So when I was demonstrating the products to you before, there were 2 things. There was the weight of the product that we could enter. We could also specify if the product needed to be shipped. In that tab, you can specify the dimensions of the product. This is all really important information to feed to the automatic shipping calculator so they can be sure to give your customers the right shipping options. All right, so when we click on that, we can specify your shipping origin. So we're just gonna enter some information about where we're shipping from. And there we have it. Theoretically, we have now set up taxes, we've set up a payment method, and we've set up shipping in our online store. We also created a product. So let's head over to our online store and see what the checkout process would look like for the customer. All we have to do is click on View Store at the top of the page, and we'll be directed to our online store. Let's click the product that we created. We can click on Go to Checkout or on the bag, and this is what your customer will see once they start checking out in your online store. So I'm going to click on Checkout, and here I can enter all my information and then click on Continue. At that point, it'll offer me the automatic shipping calculations. I can choose what shipping method I'd like and then pay by PayPal. But here, as you can see, I have to enter all my information. So if we go to payment and we click on the payment advanced PayPal option, we can enable PayPal checkout. So what happens is instead of having to enter in all my information, we'll have the PayPal button at checkout, and that directs me directly to PayPal and it'll feed the information to Ecwid. So if you want your customers to save more time at checkout, you can use this option to be able to help them check out faster instead of having to enter their address again. Excellent. In this part of the video, we're going to talk about customizing your storefront to match your branding. So as you can see here, we have this generic online store with demo products. But that doesn't match your brand, right? Well, we're going to edit this free website. It's called the Ecwid Instant Site, and it comes for free with Ecwid. Let's head over to website. And this is where we can design this website. As you can see here, you have a link that you can share with your customers already. In my case, it's called demostore8.company.site. Now, if you're using the free version of Ecwid, you're going to have to use that domain name to share with your customers. But of course, you probably want to have your custom domain name, like yourcompanyname.com. Of course, you can use your own custom domain name in a paid Ecwid plan. But for now, since we're just demonstrating the free plan, you can use that link and send it to your customers already. Remember at the beginning of the video, I talked about how you can embed Ecwid to an existing website. So if you already have a website, click on these options. You'll see here that you have the ability to embed your Ecwid store to an existing website. So WordPress, Wix, Joomla, Squarespace, you can add your Ecwid store to those platforms using a plugin most often. All right, for those of you who don't have a website yet, let's customize your Ecwid store. Click on Edit Site. And here you'll see that you have the ability to transform this page. So first of all, we're going to start with the hero section. It's the very top of the page with that big, beautiful image. As you can see, Ecwid has a couple templates that they created for you by default if you'd like. I like the sunglasses default, so I'm going to take that picture. We can change the title and the description. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see that you can change the background image. You can change it to a color, a gradient, a different image, or even a video. Ecwid also has a pick from gallery option, which allows you to choose from free photos online. You can change the fonts. You can change the size and the color of the button. And you can take off or add different information at the top of your site. For example, your directions, your phone number, and all that information. Take the time to play around in these options and adapt the page to your specific business needs. Let's scroll down a little bit and have a look at your company mission. This is where you can add information about your business. I do recommend adding this information because it can be very important for search engines like Google to have more information about your business. Customer testimonials are extremely important, so definitely try to get real testimonials from customers and add them here. You can add a whole bunch of them, and you can just set them up the way you would like. It's really cool. At the bottom of the page, you can add your business information. This is also really important for SEO and for Google to make sure that you have a legitimate business. And for your EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. If you'd like to learn more about SEO, I have a full in-depth playlist about SEO. Definitely check it out here. If you have any social profiles, you can add them at the bottom of the page, and then they will show up at the top if you selected that option. Now this is pretty cool. They have a site sections thing here that you can add or arrange, and it'll show you your entire website in one bird's eye view. And you can drag and drop the sections if you'd like to change their order. Now, personally, I don't recommend changing the order of these too much. The page is very, very well laid out for user experience. This is what people are used to seeing. Hero image, the online store, and then more information at the bottom. But you could always move your customer testimonials a little higher so they're closer to your online store because they're extremely important. Awesome. Now that we're done editing our online store, we're going to refresh the page and see what it looks like. It's really cool that we just created a free online store that quickly. So if you followed this tutorial, if you already had a PayPal or a Square account, and you set up taxes and shipping according to your specific needs, you should have an online store that you can already share with your customers. All right, now that we finished setting up the body of your website, we're gonna have a look at the product section specifically. So let's head over to our Ecwid eCommerce backend, and we're gonna click on Design. This is where you can change the look of your online store, so the products themselves. Just select whatever options work for you and your online store and your specific business needs. You can set this up to match your branding and your preferences. And what's really cool is that it's a visual editor. So when you make these changes, you can see them happen right here on the right panel. And then when you update your online store, they're automatically visible in your online store. Just head over to your online store and refresh the page. Congratulations, you now have an online store that you can share with your customers so that you can start selling online today. If you really want to take this a huge leap further, definitely check out my Ecwid e-commerce power course. The goal of that course is to help you set up your online store faster, better, and cheaper. If you like this video so far, definitely hit the like button and subscribe. This channel is all about e-commerce for small and medium-sized businesses. Now I'd like to talk a little bit more about marketing features that are available in Ecwid, because from my experience and the e-commerce merchants that I worked with in the past, what happens is they spend all of their money on creating their online store initially. So 2 years before they met me, they spent all their money having their website and their online store created for them. And then they realized that they couldn't update it anymore. They were dependent on a web agency. They had spent $10,000 on something that was completely outdated, and they saved no money for marketing. In my opinion, the best thing to do is create your online store for the lowest cost possible, because it's possible to make it for a very low cost, and save your money for marketing. A website is not a build it and they will come. Now that you have a website, you have to have someone to send it to, some people who are going to come there and make purchases. But if you just create your website and think Google's going to send you traffic magically, I'm so sorry to break the news to you, it's not going to happen. And so marketing is extremely important. I have a full free playlist on my channel, definitely check it out. That entire playlist goes into detail about SEO, so search engine optimization, and paid advertising, so pay-per-click, pay-per-lead, and SEM. But to summarize very quickly, if you'd like to do paid advertising with Ecwid, they make it extremely easy thanks to the apps that they integrate with. So let's have a look here real quick in the marketing tab. We have advertise across Google. If you click on this section, you'll be able to start advertising on Google pretty easily. And the reason I say that is because normally you have to have a web agency that does all of this work for you. There's a lot of work that's involved with this. I've done it myself manually, and it does take a lot of time. I've been in internet marketing for quite a few years now, so this is not something that scares me personally, but having the experience of being there and setting up these ads, it is pretty complex for someone who's never been in this back end before in Google and who doesn't have the experience of managing an ad budget on a daily basis, because you actually have to optimize and update your ads every day. What's really cool about these apps is that they automate the process and make it very simple and easy for merchants to just get started with paid advertising. Definitely check those out if you're interested in learning more. Here you have a whole bunch of different options that are available with Ecwid. Some of them are paid, but they're really powerful options to help you boost traffic and sales in your online store. Of course, two of my favorite features in Ecwid are the ability to integrate with Facebook, to have a Facebook store on your Facebook business page, and Instagram shopping for Instagram business accounts. You can submit your applications here. If you're planning on applying to Instagram shopping, definitely check out the entire playlist above. I have a whole bunch of tips in there that help merchants prepare their accounts before applying to Instagram shopping, because a lot of people do get refused. There's many reasons why some businesses don't get accepted to Instagram shopping. Some of them include selling prohibited products, not having enough information on their Instagram account, not having enough followers or engagement, not having information in their bio, not having their business address or information. There's lots of things that you can do to prepare your account to help put the chances on your side of getting accepted to Instagram shopping. So definitely check that out. If you like this video so far, definitely hit the like button and subscribe. This channel is all about e-commerce for small and medium-sized businesses. At the beginning of this video, I talked about my favorite Ecwid e-commerce features and why they're so important. In this part, we're gonna go a little bit more granular, and we're gonna have a look at other features that are available in Ecwid that you might wanna have in your online store, and therefore you might wanna get a paid plan for. Here we have a sitemap feature. It is important for Google to be able to crawl your entire site to have that sitemap available. You also have advanced SEO features in the higher tiered plans. We also talked about how you can have access to Ecwid e-commerce's support team in the higher tiered plans with the chat and phone support. And in my opinion, that makes it 100% worth having a paid plan. There's already incredible ROI having access to Ecwid's support team. With a free plan, you can only add 10 products in 2 categories, whereas in the paid plans, you can add 100 to an unlimited amount of products. When I'm talking to a client, I usually recommend a venture plan just to get started if they don't have a very big budget. It already unlocks a whole bunch of really amazing and powerful features that can increase your revenue. But any serious small and medium-sized business definitely wants a $35 a month plan at least. You can save money by getting a yearly plan. I personally have a yearly business plan, and that plan is absolutely amazing. It covers all of my needs. However, if you have a brick and mortar store and you have a POS system, you might want to go with the unlimited plan. The other profile of person that I recommend go with the unlimited plan is anyone who wants to have a mobile store app. Yes, you can have an app that's available in the app market thanks to Ecwid e-commerce's plan, the yearly unlimited plan. So instead of having to pay a developer to create an app for your online store, you can have it seamlessly with Ecwid e-commerce. It's extremely powerful, so people can go to the App Store, download your app, and have access to your online store from their phone. It's really cool. Also, in the unlimited plan, they provide 12 hours of store customization, so you can have access to Ecwid's support team who can customize your online store for you. That's a pretty powerful plan. But for most people, the venture or the business plan covers a vast amount of their needs. So Ecwid e-commerce is an extremely powerful e-commerce solution for small and medium-sized businesses. The thing is, it's just not very well known. Ecwid is a powerful omni-channel e-commerce solution that provides really cool integrated marketing features. It's quick and easy to set up, and it's really powerful for those who want to be able to independently create and manage their online stores. If you're one of those people who want to be able to create their online store themselves, save money, time, effort, have ongoing customer support, have access to custom development if required, and want to do this much better, much faster, and much cheaper than working with a web agency, definitely check out my Ecwid e-commerce power course. That course will take you step by step from creating your online store, designing it to match your brand, marketing it, getting your first sales, and increasing your revenue. If you like this video, definitely hit the like button and subscribe. This channel is all about e-commerce, and more specifically, Ecwid e-commerce. If you'd like to learn even more about Ecwid, definitely check out this playlist where I provide Ecwid tutorials and tips. Thanks so much for watching.